Before the start of tonight's meeting, we actually had a public meeting with the budget, with our Ways and Means for our budget work session. Before we begin the regular announcements and so on, is there any public or visitor comment? Okay. Announcements. We're next going to have our meeting at November 21st, 2017 at 7 p.m. here. We're going to be closed November 7th for Election Day and November 10th for Veterans Day. Voting districts number 1 and voting district number 8 have been relocated to the Bucks County Health Department, 1282 Alms House Road in Doylestown Township. Applications are being accepted for vacancies on our various boards and commissions. Please check with our website for information. If you're interested in applying for any of the openings on our boards and commissions, send a letter of interest and a brief resume to the Board of Supervisors, care of Stephanie Mason, Township Manager, 425 Wells Road, or you can submit your application by email. Halloween, wait, I'm going to do this wrong. I'm going to do this differently. Thompson Performing Arts Series. Last of the series is the Beauty and the Beast on Friday, October 20th. It's at dusk at the Covenant Bank Amphitheater. It's a free event. It's in Central Park, if you don't know where that is. It's our, like I said, the last of a very successful series. Thank you, Thompson people. What's it called? Thompson Organization. Halloween is October 21st at Central Park from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. If you'd like to participate, contact us at Doylestown Rec or DoylestownTownshipPA.org or to DoylestownRec.org. CB Cares Pumpkin Fest follows Halloween at 2 o'clock at Moravian Tile Works. It's $20 a carload. That's a fundraiser for drug and alcohol-free communities. Doylestown Township Leaf and Yard Waste Recycling. Drop-off site is every third Saturday at the New Britain Road entrance to Central Park. That's March through December, 9 a.m. to 11. And you can purchase discount movie tickets from our administrative offices. Fundraisers, last announcement, I think this, for the EAC, Environmental Advisory Council, magnets are $5, and we still have a few bicentennial caps left for $18. They're going fast. We're going to be ordering our second set of bicentennial caps. No, I lied. There's one more. Doylestown Township Park and Recreation, in partnership with Premier World Discovery, is offering 2 trips in 2018. The first is the Great Trains and Great Grand Canyons and Treasures of Ireland. Please contact administrative offices for brochures and highlights of these 2 events. All right. Minutes approval from the Board of Supervisors, October 3rd, 2017. That would be the regular meeting of the board. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
Make a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any changes, corrections?
I had one. I just wanted for clarification for the resolution for the gerrymandering. The minutes show that Sean Toohill voted no. Is that accurate? I think, Barbara, you're shown as approving it.
I voted no.
You voted no. So I think we got you 2 back up.
Thank you. Thank you.
Flip. Thank you.
Reflip. Anything else?
No, that's
Thank you. Good spot. All in favor of the October 3rd regular minutes of the board meeting?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Then the next is the budget work session from October 3rd. Everyone had a chance to review these minutes? Is there a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Is there
Second.
any changes, corrections? All in favor?
Aye. Abstain.
Abstain. Thank you. All right. Next item on the agenda, reports from the solicitor.
We forgot the request for waiver of land development.
I beg your pardon. Moving back to correspondences, Bucks County Emergency Services Storage Building has a request for waiver of $13,240 and $45 in building permit.
And they
And
want
other
a waiver of land development as well.
land development and other electrical and mechanical permits. What do we do with that? What's our policy?
He's right there. He's going to make a presentation.
Before you do that, what's our policy?
Needs to be at the microphone.
The
policy, the waiver of the land development is not uncommon, especially for projects like this, but that's to the discretion of the board. In terms of the waivers requested on the building permits, depending on the entities, it's usually, I think the policy you've set forth, I believe, I'll double check it, but it's around $1,000 is what we've set in the past on some of the ones that have come from some of our nonprofit organizations. I'll have to pull that and double check it, but we can set that forth.
I think you've always wanted to get reimbursed for any out-of-pocket expenses.
Out-of-pockets, when we do land development waivers, yes, we always get the reimbursements.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, Supervisors. My name is Kevin Spencer. I'm the Director of Operations for Bucks County. Thank you for having me tonight. We've been working with our Emergency Services Director for the past kind of year looking at sketch plans. That we have a grant that the county has received from Homeland Security. It's actually through 2 grant cycles, but we're in the planning stages of looking to put an emergency services kind of a storage building on our Chamonix Manor campus. It's a 12,000 square foot warehouse we're looking to do. It would be a prefabricated steel building, the location of which would be kind of behind our current the warehouse, which is on the county campus there. There's an access road that heads up towards the water tower in the back of our property there. And the proposed warehouse storage building would be just off of that access road there. So we're estimating kind of roughly, based on some preliminary estimate, the cost of this building be around $850,000. We have been instructed that we are to limit the cost of this building to exactly what the grant is, that there's no county approved expenses approved for this building. So every cost for this building is being paid for out of the grants through PEMA and Homeland Security. So what you have before you, and I may have to kind of step up to talk to this a little bit, the page before you right now is kind of an overall parcel, I should say, a map of the parcel, which we have. The county owns parcels on both sides of Alms House Road. This is the parcel on the southern side of the road, which is about approximately 135 acres in size. If the township may be familiar, on the western portion of there's a creek that kind of divides this parcel in two. The western portion is where the Doylestown Township leases from the county for the rec fields, the dog park, that area on the western portion. The eastern portion of that campus is where the county has got some of our warehouse facility. Our nursing home is there. Our district magistrate is there. Who else is there? So other buildings that are on there. The Bucks County Water and Sewer as well. Currently, the overall, the request for land development waiver is such that the scale of this project doesn't come anywhere near the maximum allowable limits on this particular parcel. Again, it's a 135-acre parcel. There's approximately 19.5 acres of existing impervious already on that parcel. What this project will be adding overall is just under half an acre of impervious. It's very minimal in the grand scheme of things. We're allowed to have 50% impervious on that site. Even with the addition of what we're proposing, you're only looking, it brings us just around 15% over on the entire site. So it's a very large parcel, a very minimal effect as to what we're proposing here. So what we're asking is, in lieu of going through the full land development process to help save cost, just to allow us to submit what we have here. And the next page I can flip is more of a detailed layout, a site layout of just the building, the grading that's necessary, the stormwater management area that would be required to account for the new impervious that we're putting on this parcel. So,
can I stop you there, Mr. Spencer?
Certainly.
What's the feeling of the board about waiving the land development for this?
I have no problem waiving land development.
Would you care to make that motion?
I'll make a motion we waive land development for the project.
I'll second.
Okay. Any other discussion? Calling the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
thank you very much.
Can we pass on the fees now and look at that
Yep,
at a later time?
Yeah.
Well, no,
Go ahead.
it was 7 years ago, we put it in an ordinance. It was a maximum of $1,000. And that has
we
been
waived.
enforced. We've used it for all of the entities throughout the last 7 years of my experience. So I'm not in favor of waiving anything over $1,000, if you follow me. That's my motion, to keep it standard, as our ordinance says, for the last 7 years, of $1,000 maximum on the permit, and everything over that you have to pay.
Right. Is that a motion?
Yeah, it was a motion.
That's a second.
Okay. Any further discussion? Sean? Okay, calling the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, you're good to go.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, reports from the solicitor.
Nothing we won't discuss later in the agenda, Madam Chairperson.
Chief, you got something?
Yes, in your packet is a letter requesting that the board take a vote and grant tenure to Officer Carabella, who's here in the meeting today with his wife Jackie. Corey's been employed since September of 2016, and during that time he's assigned to Sergeant Ziegler's squad, who's also here today to support him. And he's completed the field training program and extremely well, and he's represented the township well, and I recommend that he be granted tenure by the board.
I'll second that.
You're going to make a motion.
I'll make the motion that the
Thank
chief brought up.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Congratulations.
Congrats.
Welcome,
Good.
for real. Thanks, guys, for coming. Are you leaving now? No. You're welcome to stay.
No
Is there cake
refreshments?
somewhere?
Don't we usually get refreshments?
That's when they get hired. Now he's just one of us.
Congratulations, Corey.
Thank you.
Let me officially welcome you. Thank you very much. Good job, guys. Okay, engineer.
Nothing at this time.
Barb, can I just make one more mention?
Oh, sure. Sorry, Chief.
Well, the last 3 weeks, obviously, we've moved into this building here, into our temporary structure, and that hasn't gone without growing pains. And I think I personally, from the police department, would like to thank 3 individuals who work for the township: Rick Shea, Rob Dando, and Mike Abbott, for their tireless efforts of getting us into this place. And there was some, growing pains and a lot of animosity going back and forth, but without them, it would have been extremely difficult. And it was pretty seamless, and I do appreciate everything they've done.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll put a note in their files, huh?
We will, we have to.
Thanks, Chief.
And that's all. Oh, did you want me to address this letter?
No,
Okay.
no, it's just for information.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you. All right. Engineer,
Nothing at this time.
Director of Operations.
You have a memo for me for the recommendation to award the 2017-2018 rental of snow removal equipment with operators.
You skipped over much.
Your
You're at the change order policy.
I thought that was a new business. That's, I apologize, I'm getting ahead of
That's
myself.
okay.
Oh, that's a new business. Change order policy, sorry. We, as the building committee, and as requested by the board, put together a change order policy for your review and consideration. It was included in your packet. Basically, the purpose of this is to approve change orders to minimize delays in the Phase 1 and Phase 2 building projects. The process, basically, if you would allow me to quickly, is that if a change order is identified, that it would be submitted by the contractor to the engineer, the architect, project owner, which is the township, and the project manager for Phase 2. That would be Rob Gallant with J.D. Bravo Company, who is our owner representative. Basically, the reason being that, obviously, we could see a 1 day to multiple week, 4-week delay in the approval, which would then delay the project. Change orders basically would go through the review process by the architect and the owner's representative and be submitted to the owner for review and approval, which would be us. At this time, I think Mr. Snyder would be the point person who is on the building committee, and we are recommending that that the building committee and Mr. Snyder be approved to approve change orders up to $10,000. Anything above $10,000 would have to go before the board.
No.
Oh,
So
oh,
after,
when-
Okay.
after
Yes.
10, then there's me.
Yeah.
oh, okay, the 10, okay, okay.
Get together.
Yeah,
Okay.
everything has to
Do we
be
have a-
reported to the board anyway.
Yes.
But anything more than $10,000, then the other member of the building committee it gets into the decision.
Is there a max, and then the max on that is?
10,000.
10,
Anything
okay.
beyond 10,000, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be on a case-by-case basis.
Correct.
Okay.
Hopefully, we never have to
Right.
reach that. If need be, then I'll consult other members of the board.
Right.
Which you can do without having a board meeting. If you and Ken agree, you can contact, I'll defer to Jeff, but
But you can't vote. You can be contacted, but you'd have to approve it at a public meeting.
Right.
okay. Okay.
So just to keep the project
Right.
moving.
Yes.
It's okay that we approve it, when we bring it to the
Subject to
board.
board, right.
Subject to board
Subject to
approval.
board approval. Perfect.
The only question I have is the top of the second page. There's a sentence, and is that a bullet, part of the bullet sentence?
Yeah,
or
that
is
probably, that should really fall under the change order flow. It did get taken to the second page. And again, as recommended and as requested by the board, that all change order log would be included in the packet for continual update, so the board would see it on it, and it would be included in the minutes, I guess.
So everybody will
Well,
see
yeah,
all
everybody
the
will
change
see
orders
all of
up
it
to date.
in a running tally.
Yeah.
All right.
I just had one other comment, and this is just for the municipal complex, Dave, so for me, I don't know what the rest of the board, but there's 8 different people mentioned here, and I don't know who the project chair is, who the project team is, who the committee chair is, who the chair is, who the other supervisor is. It just seems to be clear. I think some of these are 2 people. No, I think 2 of these are 1 people,
No,
if I'm following you.
no.
The project chair and the chair are the same person, aren't they?
Project chair.
Well, that's what he has. He has,
We have committee chair.
Project team, committee chair, that would be Ken.
Yeah.
I'm the other board member on the, there's a contractor.
Oh, he's
There's-
up in the third paragraph, the last
Oh.
sentence. The project chair will approve if determined. That should be committee chair.
Building committee chair.
Yeah.
yeah, just,
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine.
again, there's 1, 2, I didn't know who the project owner, well, we know that, but the project manager is somebody different than the project,
Well,
it just,
we wanted to.
You want to know the exact
We-
people?
yeah, it's just, it's only for this project, can't we just put in
The names?
Ken, Barbara, J.D.
Typically-
Bravo, Township?
Yeah. Typically, the way I have seen these done in the past, you put titles in. Because then if they change, if the people change out of the roles, then you don't have to change the policy.
Agreed.
But if there's only a handful, if the rest of the board wants names,
Name the names.
we can name the names.
All right, do that. Is there a motion to approve the
I
names?
make a motion, I make a motion, we approve this with the names added, and, was there something else?
You talked about the limit earlier today with me.
Yes. We were talking about Dave having more authority, that if there's a $5,000 change order, that Dave just does it and gets to us later to keep the process going, as opposed to coming to everybody, not us, but you guys all the time.
I have no problem with it. I really don't.
He's going to be, he'll come to Ken's hands-on, I'm hands-on.
I want to
Okay.
keep that much control on it, so.
Okay, well, it just seemed like this was to keep the process moving, and I'm saying, well, rather than sit there and say, is this going to hold up, just do it, but, so do you want to reinterpret it, my motion, or?
No.
Okay, my motion is to change the names, or add,
Yeah.
To add the names.
Add the name.
Add the names.
Approve the policy, but with the names added.
Got it.
Is that your motion?
That's my motion.
I'll second that.
Second.
Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, great, thank you. Anything else, Dave?
No.
For now? All righty then. Manager, we see a resignation of Mr. Stablowski from the EAC. Is there a motion to accept his resignation?
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Is there a motion to appoint, as recommended by the EAC, Ginny Mitchell as the chairman?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Then you also have been provided from the manager a list of open spaces on our boards and committees for 2018. These are published on our website. and these are for information. Do you want to speak to it?
Yes, you have a number of positions that are available, and as of today, we have one on the Ways and Means Committee as well.
Was there an opening on Ways and Means?
There is, as of this afternoon, yes. Jackie received an email from someone who is not going to, does not want to be reappointed. But we have 16 openings on our boards and committees, and those are all listed on our website under boards and committees. And there's an ad coming in the paper shortly. Unfortunately, that one for Ways and Means, the ad isn't going to make the paper.
Okay. All right, thank you. Moving on. Anything else, Jeff?
I have nothing else.
Supervisors, thank you. Look, I even highlighted it
I
in
know.
green.
You underlined it.
How about you, Sean? Want to start?
Yeah, I just have some news from the EAC. The staff, we have anything for the bicentennial garden party yet, or could we
Yes,
talk
garden parties.
about that?
Yeah, they talked about that at their last meeting. The garden party will be May 6th, most likely in the afternoon. I believe that's a Sunday. They're going to have light refreshments and the dedication of the native plant garden in Central Park, which is in our environmental education area. They'll be doing that. And then also they have their, Sean, as you know, the 200 oak trees.
Will those forms be?
Those
out
forms
front?
are actually on our website under the bicentennial. I put out a Google group today as well as a Facebook post on how to go about ordering. You can order either a container tree for $40, which you can plant in your own backyard. Those will be available for pickup on, I guess, Arbor Day in
Yes,
April.
April.
And the other one is if
April 21st.
April 21st, thank you. And the other one is if you'd like to have a tree planted in our parks. We're going to be planting 200 oak trees throughout our park system. And if you do one of those, you'll get like a leaf, and in the new building, we're going to have what they're kind of calling like the oak tree of life, and your little brass plate can be there, and you can have that engraved.
In perpetuity,
In
supposedly.
perpetuity, yes.
So the idea of 200 trees for 200 years of existence, new oak trees, large oak trees in Central Park. They will be carefully spaced and placed by our crack team, but there are only going to be 200 of them, and I believe they're going for $200.
Yes. those
So,
trees.
so keep that in mind.
One more thing before, we have some cleanup dates and planning dates for EAC. October 21st, 28th, November 4th, and November 11th. The 21st, 28th, and November 4th and 11th. That's from 9 to 11, back at the native plant garden, and bring gloves and tools.
Great,
That's it.
thanks.
Thank you.
Ken, you have anything?
Nope.
Rick?
Nothing that we won't cover later this meeting.
Can't wait. Ryan?
Nothing for me tonight.
Moving on then, thank you. Bucks County Water and Sewer Authority Agreement, final draft, switching places here. Everyone's had a chance to review this, I'm sure. This will be maybe the 17th time. The only addition I would like to make following Brian and I presented ourselves before the Bucks County Water and Sewer Authority regular meeting of their board on October 10th, I believe. In paragraph 13, under prepayment discounts, I would add, or see if this would be acceptable to the attorney for the Bucks County Water and Sewer, after prepayment discounts, in parentheses, add tap-in fees and public costs, as the prepayment discount would include tap-in fees, consideration of tap-in fees and public costs. So the discount would be to the public costs and tap-in fees. And that's what that's what I'm asking, we've asked them to consider. I just wanted to put it into this agreement that that's what we've asked them to consider.
Can I ask Mr. Garten at the meeting, tell me the phrase again that you used? Reservation.
Which is what I think this language is.
Okay.
Now, I mean, to be clear, that I'm not rendering an opinion about this.
You need to go up to the microphone. Sorry, Mr. Garten.
I'm not rendering an opinion about the legality because they've hired special counsel.
Right.
Steve Hahn, who represents the Pennsylvania Municipal Authorities Association, so he's tasked with that responsibility. But I don't think the comment or the caveat from Barbara Lyons will be a problem in the agreement. It's just descriptive, and I think that the board of the authorities included both of those elements.
So explain so if we were to vote for this tonight and approve this, and let's say they come back and say, we talked and we can't do any of that. Where does that leave us?
It leaves the issue open. It leaves the issue with a further discussion between the parties, doesn't it?
Even if we voted yes for it?
Yeah, because you've reserved it.
Okay.
Yes, that's the point of having us in there. And we also mentioned it and was confirmed in public.
No,
Even though under contract rules, this controls.
But the way it's the only thing that makes me a little, like, the way it's stated, it's stated as, like, not only the legality, but also the legality and if they decide to do it. Do you know what I mean? Versus just like, yeah, we talked to our special counsel, he said we can do this, and we're good to go. It's basically like, there's the legality, and then it's like, and then we have to
Well, there's
discuss
a discussion about the
and that's not how
extent
they
of it.
said it in the meeting. They
Right.
said it in the meeting like, hey, we want to help, and if legally we can do it, we're going to help. But it doesn't read that way.
Okay. My recollection is a little different. I thought they were a little more closeted about the way they were going to approach it. But this leaves open the discussion. We have to approve this agreement in order to go through a PennVest loan. But this, I think, paragraph 13, prepayment discount, including tap-in fees and for the public portion, is investigating options and legality. I think that leaves it open. The discussion will continue. We're no further behind now than we would be if we said nothing, we get nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But we made the presentation, we made the ask, and we're going to preserve the discussion on our requests after this is approved by adding that parenthetical clause. What do you think? Do you agree?
Yeah, I agree. My understanding is that's the intent of what the prepayment discount was to be, to include tap-in fees and those other costs. And that'll be certainly, obviously, if the authority does move forward with that, we'll be able to address it.
You okay? There's nothing more I didn't think we can do at this point.
We went back and forth on this language with the authority, different iterations. This is ultimately what they were comfortable with as a representation of what they were willing to do.
Ryan and Barbara, they heard the board, so you can hold them to that. There's minutes of the meeting, so.
Okay.
They said they would consider our request.
No, I understand. I understand. I wish it was written in a little bit of a different way.
Yeah. Okay. I'm okay with this the way it is. We can't hold them to anything anyway at this point. It's still a discussion. It's still a negotiation to a certain extent. We approve this. They're going forward with the project. We lose leverage, but we need to move this agreement so we can move for the PennVest funding and the project in its entirety. So
I'm one person, but.
Okay. All right, so aside from that, other questions, concerns, additions?
Nope, not for me.
Nothing from out there, hearing none. You were there, do you want to speak to Colleen? Go up to the microphone.
Yeah. Colleen Mullen, I live on Old New Road. I just want to make sure I'm clear. So you're asking them to revise the language in this particular agreement?
We're going to add a little parenthetical mark says that would include tap-in fees and public costs.
Right, because that's what I heard, and I did want to say thank you to the board and for the efforts that have been made, because at this point I agree and understand that all we can do is ask them. But I agree with Ryan to say, if we just say they're going to look into the legality, I don't want that to be a loophole for them to say, well, it's legal, but we didn't say we would actually execute on that. So I would just urge that we're cautious in following up. And how would we know one way or the other?
We have a dialogue going. We do.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Council, I do, Mr. Burton.
Is there
Ryan.
a timeline when they said they would get back that we could
No.
communicate to?
No, we have
they
a
didn't
timeline.
communicate that.
No,
So
no. But it's a 3-year-long project.
right.
And costs aren't going to be assessed until the end. Mm-hmm. So
That's good.
it's
I just
not
want
that
to
we
make
have
sure we
time.
have a process that we know we can kind of look for as residents.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We do have a little time because we have 3-some years, but I know that everyone is eager to know what the bottom line is.
Right.
And that's still a moving target as well.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's bottom line going down. With, anything could happen.
Well, that's what we hope.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right, now, back to the sewer, Pebble Ridge, Woodridge area sanitary sewer construction agreement. Hearing no other corrections or changes, there is a motion to approve with that one addition to paragraph 13.
I make a motion, we approve the Pebble Ridge, Woodridge area sanitary sewer construction agreement with the phrase that Ms. Lyons added in section 13.
Is there a second? Okay, any other conversation? All in favor?
Aye.
Nay.
All right, noted. New business, the 17-18 rental of snow removal equipment.
I don't want to take Jeff's spot here.
Good
Thank
job.
you.
Want to favor the snow removal?
As exciting as it sounds.
You are excused, sir.
Thank you.
Snow removal equipment with operator bid, see attached.
Yeah, I provided a memo. We advertised for and received 4 bids for the 2017-18 rental of snow removal equipment with operators. We, as I said, received 4 bids from contractors. This includes the trucks and personnel. 4 bidders were Little Diggers Excavating and Hardscape, B&E Carts LLC, Puppy Dog Landscape Corporation, and Spear Excavating LLC. The recommendation is to approve these 4 contractors at the stated hourly rates. If you want me to go through the rates, I will.
Okay. We had puppy dog last year, didn't we?
We had all of them last year except for Spears. Spears missed the
right.
advertisement date, so
Okay.
Paul, Mr. Garr is happy to have them back because he spoke highly of them.
Okay.
What percentage of the snow removal is, just out of curiosity, out contracted out?
I don't know exactly, so I would say I would say less.
Don't guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I can find out and get back to you.
Just curious.
Okay.
I make a motion, we approve the
Top 4?
Snow stuff.
the snow stuff of these 4 contractors, of Dave Tomko's letter dated October 12th, 2017.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Is that everybody?
I said
Yeah, that's accurate. I'm sorry, I didn't hear. Okay, is that it, Dave?
That's it,
Are we
thank
done
you.
now? All right. Motion, okay, next item.
If I may,
Development.
before you are the final plans of the subdivision at 651 North Shady Retreat Road, tax parcel 9-9-39. The board approved a preliminary plan of the same project on September 20, 2016. The applicant proposes to subdivide 9-9-39 into 6 lots. 4 lots will be developed into single-family dwellings, and 2 lots will be open space lots. The plans before you were prepared by Gilmore & Associates, were dated November 11, 2015, and were last revised on August 15, 2017. Your Planning Commission, at its meeting on September 25, recommended approval of the final plan subject to various conditions. I think you've seen this plan for some time, and if the board is inclined to approve the final plan, the following conditions will be applicable. Compliance with Boucher and James review letter dated September 14, 2017. Compliance with the Pannoni report dated September 8, 2017. Compliance with the Pickering Courts and Somerson review letter dated September 12, 2017. Compliance with the Bacon International review letter dated September 2, 2017. Compliance with the Doylestown Township Fire Marshal report dated September 18, 2017. Compliance with the Doylestown Township Zoning Hearing Board decision dated August 28, 2017. Next, continued compliance with the conditions of preliminary plan approval granted by this board on September 20, 2016, as noted in my correspondence to Edward F. Murphy dated September 21, 2016, to the extent not modified by the approval. Applicant to pay a fee in lieu of road widening, curbing, trail placement, internal sidewalk in the amount of $30,070 to be paid as of the execution of financial security agreements. Applicant shall record a deed restriction affecting lots 3, 4, and 5, which shall be subject to review and approval by myself. The right-of-way along Shady Retreat Road will be offered to the township. And lastly, funding and execution of financial security and development agreements and forms satisfactory to the solicitor. Mr. Blackburn, have you reviewed those conditions I sent previously?
We have.
Are you satisfied to accept those conditions on behalf of the applicant?
We are.
Planning Commission has recommended approval.
Yes, we over the last few months, worked through this, and it was a little interesting the way the shape, topography, and the geography of the, but I think we came to a mutual agreement, and we benefit, our township's going to benefit from this also.
Do you care to make a motion?
I will make a motion that we approve final land development for 651 North Shady Retreat Road.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Conversation, discussion, questions from the board? From anyone out there? Nope, hearing none. All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
You're good to go.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Congratulations, thank you.
I didn't hear the presentation.
Yeah.
Well,
If
if
they
you'd
don't
like to
need
do
to
that,
do
I'd be
it.
happy to delay things.
Okay, the next is the Callan Trap. Somebody here from the Callan Trap?
Yes, they're here. This is the Callan subdivision. It's a preliminary as final subdivision plan. It relates to tax map parcel 9-12-11. The applicant proposes to subdivide tax parcel 9-12-11, which consists of approximately 11 acres, into 3 lots. Lot 1 will consist of 6.9 acres, would retain the existing dwelling. Lot 2 would consist of 2.2 acres, and Lot 3 would consist of 1 acre. Single-family detached dwellings are proposed for lots 2 and 3. The lots will be served by individual on-lot water and sanitary sewer systems. The plans before you were prepared by Protact Engineering were dated January 16, 2017, and were last revised on June 30, 2017. Your Planning Commission, at its meeting held on September 25, 2017, recommended approval of the preliminary as final plan subject to conditions. So maybe, since this hasn't been before the board for a little time, maybe you, Mr. Rose, you can just go through the plan generally before we get to any conditions.
Sure. Nick Rose from Protract Engineering, and I have with me Dave Callan, who is the owner of the property, if anyone has questions for him. As Mr. Garden has noted, well, it starts at about 11 acres. Mr. Callan's house is already on the back of the property, and he would retain roughly 7 acres, actually a little more, a little less than 8, when he would control the private street. Then a second lot would be developed a little over 2 acres to the north of that, which actually Mr. Damian LaRosa would own, who is also here if you have questions for him. And then there would be a third lot up near Easton Road that would be available in the future. It's over 1 acre. As noted, the lot's actually quite large. It could support 8 or 9 acres, but it was thought by all to come in with something more simple than this. You may have even seen previous proposals for this. But this is what we'd like to do. We would have on-lot water and sewer. We've been, as you noted before, the Planning Commission actually several times, and we met out at the site. Mr. Colella was there, at all the meetings as well. So I could certainly answer any other questions you have, but that's a brief rundown of what we're proposing there.
And the Planning Commission has approved this one as well?
Yes.
Yes.
The one question I had, why unlock water and sewer? Isn't there water on the other side of the street?
There is water in the vicinity, but it's down the road. We did look at the potential cost for that, and it was up in the hundreds of thousands of dollars to get it here. There may be, in the future, I understand there's other developments going on in the area that may make it feasible, but at this time it wasn't economically feasible.
Fair enough. Any other questions?
No.
Do you care to make a motion?
Well,
He's got to go through the
Oh, I
list,
beg your pardon.
and then I'll yeah.
Sorry.
I didn't do that till we made sure there were any questions.
No questions.
Compliance with Boucher and James review letter dated July 17, 2017, except for item 3 because there's no need for street trees because it's a private street. Secondly, compliance with the Pickering Courts and Summers review letter dated July 13, 2017, except for the comment related to public water as noted in item number 4. Next, compliance with the Michael Baker review letter dated July 20, 2017. Next, compliance with the SC Engineers review letter dated April 27, 2017, except not feasible to provide public water. Next, compliance with the Bucks County Planning Commission review letter dated March 8, 2017. Applicant has requested the following waivers from the provisions of Section 15324A, parentheses 8, which would require private streets to be approved as township street standards and not being offered for dedication. From the provisions of 153-25D1, which requires that a bike path not be closer than 5 feet the face of any curb along any street. There's one location where it has to be in order to fit in. Am I right, Mr. Rose?
Yes, to avoid a utility pole without going all the way behind it.
And from the provisions of 153-26 required as far as concrete curbing, because it is a private street, applicant to pay a fee in lieu of recreation in accordance with the township's fee schedule for the 2 new lots. Applicant to pay a $1,000 off-site contribution for each of the new single-family dwellings to be paid as each building permit is drawn. Funding, execution of offensive security agreements, receipt of all permits approved, many agencies having jurisdiction. Applicant to pay all expenses incurred by the township in connection with the application, and the plans and the improvements will be ADA compliant. Mr. Rose, do you accept those conditions on behalf of the applicant?
Yes, I reviewed them with them, and we are willing to accept those.
I make a motion that we approve the Callan Tract 2140 Eastern Road as outlined by Mr. Garten. And I'd just like to make one comment about Mr. Callan and all he's done. We walked that area with the residents, and they were enthusiastic, maybe, but they're very concerned. They're getting water issues. And it turned out it really wasn't from the Callan Tract. It was from somewhere else. And I'll never forget, Mr. Callan looked at the engineers and said, you got to be able to do something. And the engineers looked at each other and said, we don't know. And the next meeting, they came back, put their heads together, and he's going to do extra work on the outside of his detention basin to put swales in to minimize what's going currently from another area into the home. So this was a win-win. So thank you. We appreciate you working with the neighbors.
Very nice. So there's a motion.
Is this the same type of process, or what's the name of the street? Did we go through that, or is that
There's no street, it's
a
private.
later
It's a
point?
private road. It's a private.
Are you going to
Still gotta
name
name
it?
it.
Callan Tract? Callan Road? It's not named yet.
Okay, because wasn't this the same step we were at two meetings ago?
No,
That was a different development.
different
Oh, it was
development.
a different development, wasn't
Same
it?
situation, you mean in terms of a private road?
They had a name, they had it in brain and white or something like that.
Oh, yeah, they had it, oh, but that was a post office question, wasn't it?
No, it was a road, but there was a road that also had the same
But
name.
it's a post office approval process.
But that was the
No,
final
it was
land development plan too,
names-
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean-
Well, I'll amend my motion with hopefully the consent of Mr. Callan, that when he comes up with a name for the road, that he gets in touch with the chief and Stephanie, and we don't want duplicate names. If we have Rose and Rosie Road, the police and everything, they don't know, is it Rose, Rosie, so we're trying to make sure it's not very similar to one we already have. So we'd appreciate it if you would, when you come up with a name, give it to the Stephanie and the chief, and
Sinclair and Wilbur.
Got it? That's a yes. Everybody.
That's right.
He's nodding his head yes, Mr.
Can't
Callan
hear
is
it.
agreeing.
You need a
Okay.
second.
All right, so is there a second? I forget.
Second.
Okay. With that, addition to the motion, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you, you're good to go.
Great, thank you.
You can also name it like Lions Lane or something. Very literal there.
But that's Lyon, not Lion, so they don't go to the wrong place.
I don't have it. All right, thank you, you're good to go.
The last item I have is, we're all familiar with the Carosi property off of Wayne Road and the application of Metro Storage to
yeah.
clean up that disaster that has been a subject of a lot of court proceedings in the past. Before you is your approval of the development agreement for that project to be executed when it's delivered with the checks and their signatures on the agreement, but I would ask the board to approve the agreement, authorize the chairperson to sign it when received.
Is there a motion to approve the agreement subject to signature by the chair?
I'll make that motion to approve.
I'll second.
Any other questions? Or any questions? All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, next item, Treasurer's Report from October 17, 2017. Was sent electronically. Is there a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And then the bills list for the same date, October 17, 2017. Is there a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I'm going to add one thing to the announcements. The gala for the bicentennial is set for January 6, 2018 at Doylestown Country Club. We're going to be sending out save the date, so I'm telling you now, save the date. Okay, next meeting of the board is November 21st at 7 p.m. We're going to be closed November 7th and November 10th, the first for Election Day, second for Veterans Day. Voting districts 1 and 8 have been moved to the Bucks County Housing Health Department at 1282 Alms House Road. We're accepting applications now for various positions on our boards and commissions. We were provided tonight a list of those openings, and they're on our website now. There's also an opening on the Ways and Means in addition to those others listed. Halloween is October 21st, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Central Park. CB Cares Pumpkin Fest follows October 21st at Moravian Tile Works at 2 p.m. It's $20 a carload. Thompson Performing Arts Series, last event is October 20th, Beauty and the Beast movie in the park at Covenant Bank Amphitheater. The Doylestown Township Leaf and Yard Recycling is March through December, 9 to 11, at the New Britain entrance to Central Park. It's for township residents only. And you can purchase discount movie tickets from our admin offices, which are on the other door to the trailers. Fundraisers for the EAC magnets are $5, and the township caps, there are about 10 left, are $18. And we are sponsoring 2 great premier world travel events in 2018, Great Trains in Grand Canyons and the Treasures of Ireland. And you can contact our administrative offices for more details. Anything else?
No.
Hearing none. Is there a motion to adjourn? Yes?
Motion.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Thank you. We're adjourned, everyone. Good meeting. We appreciate it.